So I keep talking about infinite being, and some of you may be wondering, well, how do I even know that I'm infinite being? So I'd like to direct your attention in ways that you can feel it within yourself. We won't be relying on thoughts. Thoughts are a template and they're very conditional. Whatever happens, we can change our thinking about something. They don't have a particular reality because with new information, there's something new in our thoughts. So instead, we look beyond thoughts. We can start by simply stilling ourselves so we can feel the aliveness in our bodies. This aliveness is totally uncaused by anything we do. So as you center down and feel that aliveness, you can feel that it's not empty. First when we take away our thoughts, there's lots of times this sense of, well, blah. But when you feel your aliveness, it has a sweetness, it has a certain substance to it. You can feel where your toe is without looking at it. There's a aliveness in our bodies, and it's not exactly limited to our bodies. Now, next, you can think of moments when, without any particular logic, you had a sense of preciousness or beauty. Maybe you heard an angelic voice and it brought tears to your eyes. Or you saw a newborn baby. Or you saw anything beautiful or precious and something in you resonated. That resonating is a sense we have of this greater vastness from where we come. Now, don't trust me on that, but if you can sit in that sense of preciousness or beauty and just keep silently tracing it back, how do you know this? How can you recognize that? If you keep tracing it back, you feel eventually this immense beauty or love or preciousness or fullness. And that is infinite being. Now, you may still be saying, well, I just feel nothing. Well, when we start feeling something new, it can be very, very subtle. I don't know if you've ever trained yourself in playing an instrument or wine tasting or all kinds of numerous ways that we train our senses. When we first try it, we often can't notice it. It actually takes time. So where it comes from is paying attention to just that little crumb that you might sort of notice. You're not even certain it's really there, but just pay attention and allow that capability, that sense to develop. So it may be a moment that you recall of something very sweet, like an angelic voice, something very tender. Maybe you saw a little girl who is getting treated for cancer. She's in a wheelchair and she shares her candy or her teddy bear with another little girl. Whatever it is, whatever is that precious moment for you, you can start there and feel deeper in to what has the capacity to recognize. What has the capacity to see, to know, to open? The other thing you can step into is pure curiosity. As we go out into life, it's our thoughts that say, oh, I know what that is. Oh, I know what that is. Oh, I know how this is going to happen. Oh, I know who that is. But when we drop all of those preconceptions and let them totally go, all conditioning go, no assumptions. One pine tree is nothing like any other pine tree. If you want to meet this pine tree, you can't be thinking of every other pine tree. You have to look at this pine tree. So when you start to do that, again, you'll feel this curiosity that arises when we're in a completely I don't know space. And that curiosity develops into wonder. How does that wonder happen? It's an innate characteristic of our infinite being. So experiment with these methods and see if you can't just begin at least to sense something vast, something open, something curious inside, and just sink into whatever you feel of that. Even if it's just the merest little bit, sink into it and come back to it over and over until that sense starts to grow. I can tell you, after 30 days of daily sensing into that, you will feel with more certainty your infinite being.